Okay, before we begin this video, guys, I'm going to show you what the abs are looking like after dieting for 3 months, okay? This is what they're looking like. That's it. 3 months of dieting. 1 more month left, okay? I don't know if you heard that, but that's it, folks. 3 months of dieting, losing about a pound of fat every week. That's what we set out to do. And that was 3 months ago. Okay. I believe I lost about, I want to say 15 pounds. Right now I'm down to 151 pounds. And it's looking like from the bottom portion of my abdominals, it's looking like I'm probably going to need to lose another 5 pounds. But I'm not sure because I've never been 145 pounds. Well, let me correct that. I should say the last time I was 145 pounds, I was probably in high school. So to come down that light is going to be something new for me. And so far, the weight coming off at a pound a week is proven to be very, very successful because it's slow. I'm maintaining a lot of muscle and definitely maintaining my strength, which is really, really important. You don't want to just go in and try to lose a whole bunch of weight in a matter of a month because you're just you're gonna bounce right back. You're gonna wind up gaining all the weight back. It's never sustainable. You can never live this life the way you think you can. And you're going to be hungry. You're going to be starving. So a pound a week has been excellent. And today I'm here to tell you about it, man. I'm here to tell you the pros and the cons. And basically, honestly, to tell you how delusional people really are. Okay. In their thought process of losing weight and gaining muscle, especially when you are our age, when you are in the 50-something group or the 40-something group. It is extremely difficult, guys. When I say difficult, I mean it's next to impossible. I'm sorry to be the bearer of the bad news, but for all the gentlemen out here that are watching the video, for those of you that believe that after 30-something, right? Let's just say in your mid-30s, if you weren't in the gym in your 20s and your late teens, you weren't playing any sports, if you were living a sedentary beta lifestyle, all right, it is next to impossible to gain muscle in your mid to late 30s, going into your 40s. You have surpassed your genetic ceiling in terms of building muscle in your mid 20s. So again, guys, if you, and let me also say this. If you are in your 20s right now and you're listening to this video, this doesn't pertain to you. You're walking around in your mid 20s like a TRT clinic. You are naturally producing testosterone levels far beyond any man in their 30s, 40s, and 50s could ever produce. You are a walking testosterone machine. So get out of here. This video does not belong, does not pertain to you. This is for the people who are middle-aged men like myself. All right, looking to get back into shape and struggling at the same time. That's who this is for. Whatever I say in this video is not going to pertain to you guys, to you younger folks, man, because you guys should be building muscle just by looking at the weight. All right. And if you're having a hard time building muscle, you probably have shitty genetics if you're in your 20s and you can't build muscle. And it just is what it is. I face it. If you can't build muscle, it's not meant to be. No matter what you do, no matter how much you eat, it's just not going to happen. All right. So maybe that's a good topic for another video, but guys, let's get back to how difficult it is being in your 50s and and trying to gain muscle. I'm gonna tell you right now, That's not going to happen either. Yeah, this video right now is this is going to piss a lot of people off, but I'm here to settle the score in terms of you guys being hyper delusional. The only way you're building muscle in your 50s is if you're on steroids, or honestly, if you're doing some sort of TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, or HRT, hormone replacement therapy. That's the only way. I mean, because that's, honestly, let's just call it what it is. That's legalized steroids, what they're doing in these HRT clinics. They're just legalizing, the sale of testosterone. It's no different from a testosterone cypionate that you would buy on the street on the black market. Now, why would you ever need that? In my opinion, I don't think any man would ever need that unless you were in your 20s abusing steroids, in your 30s abusing steroids, and now your body is just no longer making testosterone at all, and you need this. You need this to survive. I get it. Okay? No different from a crackhead who was abusing crack their entire life and now, taking methadone just to walk around and survive and be normal. No different. If that's you, it is what it is. There are exceptions to the rule, of course. There's always exceptions to the rule where there are men that just, have shitty metabolisms and aren't producing testosterone. And, there's a lot of fucked up things that may happen to a select few, but it's not the majority. The majority of us, are capable of producing testosterone. It's just that we're lazy. We're lazy. We eat too much. We're overfed. And that's what destroys our metabolisms. That's what destroys our ability to make muscle. So let's backtrack and let's go from, if you're an adult male, 50-year-old, 40s, late 40s, even late 30s. I'll go as far back as late 30s because I've seen some guys in their late 30s that look like shit. We all see them. All right, soft as marshmallows, okay? I don't know what you guys were doing in your 20s, man. You guys were probably playing video games and doing some dumb shit, but you missed that ceiling and that opportunity to build muscle in your 20s because it's not happening in your 30s. And you guys might be saying, well, no, that's not true. Of course it could happen. Well, here's what I'm trying to tell you. In your late teens or mid to late teens, early 20s, that is the prime target for us to build muscle, and to build muscle where we can achieve, that highest level of muscle growth. We can reach our, what would they call it? Our genetic ceiling. We can maximize our genetic potential to build muscle when we're in our early 20s, late teens. If we're not taking advantage of that, and you guys are now deciding to make a change in your life and go back to the gym in your late 30s, early 40s, maybe even 50s, God bless you. But to think that you're going to gain 10 pounds of muscle in a year, even 2 years, you are delusional. It's not going to happen. The only thing that you guys can do at that stage in your late 30s, especially if you're about 50 or 60 pounds overweight, the only thing you can do is be in control of how much fat you can lose. And even that process is difficult. Why? Because your body is so used to storing this amount of fat for decades. And now all of a sudden you want to try to get down to 10% body fat. No, it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I have always, let me correct that. I have been in the gym the majority of my life. Since I was 14 years old, I was in the gym. I was eating grilled chicken and tuna, high protein diets my entire life. There was only a period of 12 to 13 years where I took off because I tore my pec. And I wanted nothing to do with the gym. All right. And during that 13 years, I ballooned up to 200 pounds at 5'7". ballooned up 200 pounds, and all that shit went to my back, my chest, my stomach. You guys seen the pictures in my prior videos. So what do? The only thing you can do, honestly, the only thing you can do is control how much you eat. To be in a deficit, to be in a calorie deficit and lose as much weight, as much fat as possible, so that way you can start seeing whatever muscle you have on your frame, whatever lean muscle tissue you have on your frame. That's the only thing you can do. Again, aside from taking steroids, jumping on TRT, there's nothing you can do. When I say gaining muscle in your mid 40s, early 50s, that's next to impossible. Like I said before, I made a video a couple of weeks ago, and I think I may have gained, I would say maybe 3 to 5 pounds of lean muscle tissue in the last 3.5 years. Now, I know that I could have possibly pushed an extra 5 or maybe, I don't know, maybe in 3 years, 3.5 years, maybe I could have pushed it an extra. To say 10 pounds in 3 years of muscle gain is just, that would be delusional speaking. I don't think I could have done that. And I've been training consistent for 3.5 years. What I've noticed is that I've lost a hell of a lot of fat, 50 pounds. And what I've noticed is that I'm seeing the muscle that I've put on over the last 3 decades. The muscle that I had in my 20s and going into my 30s, that's the muscle that I have today. I don't think I put on any muscle tissue. I just got leaner because I've never been, I was never 151 pounds. When I was in my late 30s, even in my 20s, I was 180 and better. 180 and better. And I'll throw some pictures up here so that way you can see what I was like in my 20s. But I say this to say that you are delusional to think that gaining 10 pounds or 20 pounds of muscle naturally is going to happen for you because you started going to the gym at the age of 40 or 50 is never going to happen. So what do? What can I do, Rad? So what's the point? What's the point of even training? Well, the point of training is so that way you can start maintaining whatever muscle you currently have. Going into your late 50s, 60s, perhaps even your 70s, God willing. Maintaining that muscle you have right now at this very moment and not allowing life to take more away as you age. That's part of the main reasons why I'm training today. So that way I can still maintain whatever I have right now going into my 60s. I'll deal with my 60s when I get there. But as of right now, I want to hold on to whatever it is that I have, and that's why I train. That's the only reason why. I don't want to be in my 60s with a bad back, bad knees, can't go up the stairs, can't bend down and lift my kids up or whatever. I don't want to be that guy, man. That's why I train. And I think if you have that mindset, you'll be successful. So what do you have to do? What is a common person, an average person in their 40s, 50s, perhaps even in their 60s? What do we have to do? Man, we got to really focus on sleep. Getting quality sleep. We got to focus on eliminating stress. We got to focus on eating a proper diet, right? Which is having your fats, your carbohydrates, your proteins, having all three, but we have to minimize the amount of food we eat. And I think that's a huge issue. That is when I say that's a huge issue, it's huge. People are eating too much. How do I know this to be true? Right now, my caloric intake is about 1,300 calories. I stopped doing cardio. Okay, because it's just unnecessary at this point. I'm just training and I'm hitting it hard in the gym. I'm trying to conserve whatever energy I have throughout the day to focus all that energy into lifting. Trying to go as heavy as possible and training to failure every set. I'm doing one body part a week. Okay, and I'm trying to kill that body part every time I train. At 1,300 calories, I've never eaten this little before, but I feel full, right? I feel full at the end of the day. I'm eating twice a day. And although they'll tell you that you need to eat 3 or 4 times a day because that's optimal for muscle growth, not for you, not for the 50-year-old and the 40-year-old, for the 20-year-old, for the 18-year-old, it's optimal for them to eat more and more times throughout the day because they're still growing. They have enough testosterone in their system that the more they train, the more they eat, the bigger muscles and the better they're going to look. But not for you. Your body is completely different. You are holding way too much fat on your frame. Way too much fat. You have to eat less. And when I say less, I mean less, a lot less. We're too overfed, and that's part of the problem. So how do I do it? How do I do 1,300 calories a day? I don't know how I'm doing it, but this is what I'm doing. If I'm having, if it's a chicken day, let's just say, I'm having 16 ounces of chicken. That's 50 grams of protein. I'm having 4 servings of oatmeal. You can add another 20 grams of protein to that as well. That's about 70 grams. Okay. I'm having some either Munster cheese or American cheese to add a little bit more fat into my diet along with some cheese. And that's another, I want to say another 25 grams of protein in it as well, right? So ultimately, I'm getting around 100 grams of protein. I'm not doing 1 gram of protein per body pound anymore. I'm not doing that because it's unnecessary to do that. 1 gram of protein per body pound is not for you, the middle-aged man. It is for the young man, the 18-year-old, the 19-year-old, the 20-year-old. It's for those guys. Those guys are repairing muscle at a faster rate than you. Your body and your metabolism has slowed down tremendously. So whenever somebody says, oh, well, just stick with, 1 gram of protein per body pound. No, it's 1 gram of protein, right? Per lean muscle body pound, like for lean muscle tissue. So if you're 100, let's just say you're a 100-pound male, but only 65 or 70 pounds is actually lean muscle tissue, then technically all you need is 0.07 grams of protein per pound of lean muscle tissue. So you don't even need 60 grams of protein. If that confused you, I'll say it again. If you are 100 pounds and 60 of those 100 pounds is lean muscle tissue, 60 pounds of lean muscle tissue, you don't need 60 grams of protein. You need 0.07 grams of protein per lean muscle, per 1 pound of lean muscle tissue. So that's like 2/3 almost, a little over 2/3 of a gram of protein. You're eating too much. How do you know you're eating too much? Rad, what are you talking about? Everybody says 1 gram of protein per body pound. Okay, look at your urine. When you go to the bathroom, is there a bunch of bubbles and suddy, does it look bubbly? If it does, it's because your kidneys can't process all the proteins that you're giving it. You're spilling over. You don't believe me? Google it. Fact check me. Too much protein causing your kidneys to spill over. They're working too hard, and that's why your urine is all bubbly and sudsy looking. Your urine should be clear of bubbles. No bubbles whatsoever, and it should be a nice kind of like amber yellow. Not too yellow and not too clear. If it's too clear, you're overly hydrated. If it's too yellow, then you're dehydrated. Kind of has to be right in the center. And that's why you're having too much protein. When I started cutting my protein down to 0.07 per lean pound of muscle tissue, let me tell you, man, I just started to feel better. Personally, I just started feeling fantastic. I still kept my strength. I have more room to allow the other important macros to be into my diet. I can have more carbs. I can add a little bit more fat into my diet. And maybe this is how I'm doing 1,300 calories a day. We're overfed. We don't need all that protein. We don't need all that food. We just don't need it. It gives me more opportunity to have more fruit. More carbs. Again, more carbs, right? We need carbs and we need water. Carbs and water is what makes our muscles full. So I'm at 1,300 calories a day, and I'm at that amount of calories feeling pretty damn fantastic. I'm not starving at night. I'm sleeping well. I might have to push it down to 1,000. If I want to see a defined six-pack, I might have to push it down to 1,000, or maybe do some more cardio. Maybe add in 30 minutes of cardio a day. Burn an extra 200 to 300 calories, and that would be equivalent to me having 1,000 calories a day. But we still have up until June, because that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for, June 30th to be chiseled and dialed in, and to have a really defined six-pack set of abs. All right, that's my personal goal. You know what I'm saying? To be 51 and to have, defined abs and to be in shape, to be in real good shape. That's a personal goal for me. For you, I don't know, maybe losing 30 or 40 pounds might be it for you, and that's fine. But the only way you're going to get there is by controlling what you eat. And how do you control what you eat? Eat less of what you're eating. That's it. Just eat less. You don't have to be on a keto diet. You don't have to do none of that nonsense. Just eat less of what you're doing or move more. It's not difficult, folks. It really isn't, man. You guys make it so difficult. Every time I talk to any one of you, man, you guys make it so difficult because you're listening to a bunch of influencers that are in their 20s. Meanwhile, you're in your freaking 50s and 60s, all right? And you're following a freaking 20-year-old who's already jacked up with testosterone. Why would you do that? I don't know. You guys are crazy, but you're going to learn. As I say all the time, y'all are going to learn, okay? When you don't come in lean this year, ask yourself why. Go ahead. Just ask yourself why when you don't come in lean this year. You should have listened to this video. I don't know. With that being said, I don't think I have anything else for you guys, man. I showed you what I was looking like, and it's funny because in order for you to be relevant, I guess, right, on any freaking platform, people want to see what you look like. Okay, so when you're covered up, you don't really get the same attention. You know what I'm saying? So you either got to be in a tank top or no shirt on. I'm not doing all that bullshit. All right. But they want to see the proof. People want to see. People want to see, all right, well, let's see what you're looking like. And they'll always judge a man based on how lean he is, you know? So me showing you what I looked like before in the beginning of the video is me keeping it 100 with you, letting you know I'm almost there. My method is working. It's working for me. If it's working for you, whatever it is that you're doing, God bless you. I'm never going to put what I do and say you need to do what I do. All I'm going to tell you is you have to eat less. That is the only way. Eat less or move more. With that being said, man, I'll see you on the next one.